Hello YouTube, and thanks for tuning in to SPANKLE-VISION. And we are back with another episode of Minecraft Epic Structures here. And today we're going to do a tour of the epic medieval castle that we created. This whole castle was built on survival. So if you're building a survival world, this should pretty much show you that you can build anything that you really want if you're willing to take the time. And it took us 2.5 months to build this bad boy. Basically 3 people, me, Comedian23 and Midnighthoss created this castle in 90 days. We had a little bit more help, but it was pretty much us for the most part. And it's still one of my favorite things that we created. This is the ultimate epic structure on survival for sure that I've ever created. In fact, this was the last thing we worked on right before creative came up, and we're gonna go in and check it out. So this is going to be a bit of a tour because it's huge, so sit back and enjoy. And as you see, you come in here to the drawbridge. I'm going to try to show you everything. There's so many places to go here. Like I said, it's going to take a while. And you come into the main courtyard here, and you can see the chapel there to the right, and you can see all this castle built on survival, and that is absolutely true. I wouldn't make that up. Looks like I need to lay a bed down here. And alright, we'll continue the tour. And we'll start with the chapel. Here we go. And you come into we wanted like a little church chapel thing, medieval theme, so we made like a medieval cathedral type deal. Nothing too huge, nothing too fancy, just a house of worship for the kingdom, or really the royalty. I guess this is where they do the sermon from. Alright. And we're gonna head on down. I guess I'm gonna we're gonna tour right first. That'll work best. You know, I said there's a lot of stuff to see here. And a lot of stuff never really got finished. Like that building, I never really did anything in there. It's just an epic tower. And I'll do a flyover when we're done. I just figured it'd be best to walk through in the beginning. And there's tunnels and ways all around. And we're gonna head out here to the royal docks first. And so you could see, you come out of the kingdom's walls here, or the castle walls. There's a little cart here. It's a nice little, maybe I'll do a tutorial on that, how to show to make a medieval like pull cart, because that's pretty cool little design there. He's got some gold and iron and loaded up. We had to have a little market, and you can get your cakes, your raw materials here, flowers, and textiles down here. We have a little textile booth. This tower was just a little watchtower I made. Put some steps up there. And actually everything in the castle was built on survival except for the final battleship there, that royal battleship. That was the first thing I ever made on creative. The day that came out, I was like, well, we're right at the end of the dock. I had just finished making these 2 smaller vessels, and creative came out and I made that boat, and then I just stopped making medieval stuff. I just started making the modern town. So that's a little bit of history about what all happened with this world, how it all happened. But I do like these little boats here. This one's pretty cool. He's like a little rum runner. He's got Jameson Irish whiskeys, Venetian red wines, ye old ale. He's got crates of it. You know, you can go down in the gully of the ship here. It's just got just a little table or furnace, you know, cramped little bed back there. And this one was just like a little fishing vessel here, like it didn't have a name or anything. This one's called the Drunken Skeeve though, because he's a rum runner. The Drunken Skeeve, you see it? Thought that was a cool boat name. And I don't know, I really like both of these boats. Pretty cool little design. That one could even float for a modern. Looks kind of like maybe a modern, old school sailing vessel. But we'll get into this royal battleship here. I guess I should have named it. I never did. I just thought it looked really cool. Got the cannons on the side. it's our kingdom flags, obviously blue and gold. And you can see it everywhere over there, the flags on the kingdom as well. And we're gonna go in here. And you got your cannons here. I did have it where they, yeah, I thought so. You could actually make them operational if you wanted to fill up the dispenser or something and push that button and shoot something out. And we did a little bunkhouse for all the shipmates. This is where they'd stay. And down in the gully of this ship, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Nothing too fancy elaborate, but you had to have the ship surgeon. Every old school ship had somebody to sew your leg back, or at least try to cut it off, and your little blood spots and their beds in here. You don't want to go to the ship surgeon in medieval times. Every ship needed a carpenter too, a long time ago. Had to have a carpenter on board. And the kitchen, of course, it's dingy in here. You got mushrooms growing over. And the captain's quarters. And more often than not, on an old medieval vessel, the captain would be the only one that could read, so I figured I'd put the books in here. And he's the only one that was smart enough to read. Maybe the second mate was able to read a book, but most of the guys are pretty dumb. But this was just like a little eating table I put here and a little storage area. Alright, like I said, that was the first thing I ever made on creative. And now we'll get back into the survival. Now we're back into the survival. Which it looks, I mean, I still can't sometimes just, man, when I look at all this and just realize that all this was built on survival, it's just crazy. I mean, even though I did it, it's still hard for me to believe. So in here we're going to go into the Royal Library. As you can see, this is one of my favorite buildings. Midnighthoss did the exterior construction on this one. I filled in the inside. It turned out really well, I think. It's just an epic room, epic structure. Total medieval. Of course, you got all your books over there. And then I put these like cascading steps in here, like a little spanner staircase. I thought that looked really cool. And down here you got your little study area if you wanted to read up on whatever books you got. Plenty more books to go around. Like I said, it's the Royal Library. And we will go over here. We've got the storeroom, bathhouse, royal mines, and the gardens. Well, first we're going to go, I just want to show you just to prove that we really did build all this on survival. So this is where we would come. This is how this whole castle was built, was this room here. We would put a block of whatever it was and then fill up the chest, you know, next to it. So we would just do mining rails, power rails, switch rails, because you can't put those on the walls. You had to put a sign. But as you can see, as you go down, you know, whatever raw material there would be in there. We had miscellaneous items, you know, just grab bag boxes. It's all been looted since then. But this is where we would come. This is how we just kept it going. We would just fill up chests and just keep working, man. It was, and down here was like my color palette. So if I was doing a color project, we'd just come stand in this room so you could see all the contrasting colors and think about what you wanted. Then you take it off and start your build. And as you can see, this actually, there's a door that goes out right into the main courtyard. So this was actually the first part of the castle we built. And just kind of built this front wall there that I'm looking at, and the drawbridge. And there was really nothing else built. I think that little small blue top tower there was built. And then I just kind of made this wall here. And we started making a storeroom. I was like, well, let's just dig in. And that was the first thing, was get the storeroom loaded up. And then we moved out and just started just going to work, man. Like, it just, like I said, it's amazing to me that we did it all in survival. So, but it goes to show that you can do epic structures on survival. But this did take us 2.5 months. Like I said, just 3 guys working non-stop pretty much every day. And here's just a little Easter egg that hardly anyone ever finds. It's a little cave I put in. You can see that's where the dock is, straight there where we were a minute ago. You can see the flags of the ship off in the distance. I just thought it was cool, little cave here. And we're gonna go over here to the bathhouse. You can go on to the royal mines, but I mean, we've all seen mines here. It's nothing fancy, it's just a mine. And we're gonna go up to the bathhouse. You get a nice little overlook, and once again, that's where we were. We went into the Royal Docks over there. You can see there's the library. Or no, wait, there's the library. Yeah, right next to it. I'm gonna go up. And here's the Royal Bathhouse. I wanted to do like an old Greek style open top bathhouse, you know. So this is what we did. I thought it turned out pretty cool, and it's nice because you can get a little overlook of if anyone comes in. You can just relax and look over the courtyard. That's where the king comes to soak up after a long, hard day of being king, which I'm sure that's stressful. And here's the royal gardens. We of course wanted you had to have a way to feed your kingdom. You know, I just put a little bit of everything. We got mushrooms back there and pumpkins. You know, you've all seen gardens. Nothing fancy once again. And you needed barracks here. I needed soldiers, so I made like a barracks house. And we'll come in here. This is the Southwest Barracks. And this is their little mess hall down here. And as you go up, you can see it's just bunks after bunks after bunks. And then the top floor is like the training facility. I made like these little dummies with the X-eyes, so you come up here and practice your training. Whole lot of work went into all this, and that one's just like an observation tower, nothing fancy in there. And we loop back around here. You can see we're back here at the cathedral, and there's the main courtyard, but there's another way around here I want to show you. Alright. Oh yeah, I never did finish this part. I was going to put like a little enchantment room here underneath the cathedral. That's right, I never did finish that. A forgotten project. And we'll go to bed real quick. Alrighty. And we're gonna keep going here. And this just comes back out into the main courtyard, like I said. And I guess we're gonna go. I guess I'm gonna go into the main part now. We're gonna hit the throne room, make our way up and around, and then we'll hit the west courtyard. This is just the east courtyard right here. There's a whole nother side of the castle, and I will do a full-on flyover afterwards, so you guys stay tuned for that, so you can see the actual scale of this. But here's the throne room. This is where the king would come to engage his court and his I guess his civilian population. This is where his authority rains down, and this was the throne. Hail to the king, baby. Hail to the king. I just thought it was pretty cool. I did this first. This was the first main room of the castle. And we will go on and continue our tour here. And we're gonna go. This is the Royal Theater, which I thought this turned out really well. Midnighthoss created this. Just an epic playhouse, medieval playhouse. And you can see you come up here and you got little sets set up, you know, because back in the day you didn't go to the theater. You know, they didn't have, you know, it wasn't a movie. They actually had to act it out. So this is where they'd come. This is the Royal Playhouse. I just thought it was a cool little scene, and this is, like I said, all thanks to Midnighthoss here. And it looks like Romeo and Scrubby are playing. Man, just looking at this, it's just, oh, how did I get in there? Oh, okay. Walked right up on it. Alright. We're going to keep moving here. And also, like I said, originally, we just, you know, you had to walk everywhere, so I set up a little transportation system here. You could get a boat out of the boat dispenser, you toss it in the water, and you take off through one of the arches here out into the world. That was the main ocean that connected everything at the time. So that's how we get around. And that just goes down into the mines, just another entrance into the mines. And we're gonna go, I guess I should go, let's go up before we head to the west courtyard. Yeah, that'll work. Yep, I'll jump off the side. That'll work. And there's just crazy long hallway that leads to the west courtyard. We're gonna be making our way around here. And this is that first tower. This is just kind of inside of it. You'll see that here in a second. So we're gonna go up to the second tier. And this is that room, that first main tower. And if you look here, there's the drawbridge where we came in. So, you know, you could set up here if you were getting invaded. You could pour the hot oil on anyone that was coming through the drawbridge. Had to keep the defenses in mind. And this just loops back around and goes down. And we're gonna go up, I guess, or should I go? Yes, here we'll take a look here. I'll just show you the overlooks. And this is overlooking the throne room here. So those that couldn't fit into the king's chamber, whenever it fills up, you could overflow up here. And this is the balcony of the Royal Theater here. Thought that was pretty cool. And we'll just go ahead and take a look at this right here. This was a little outdoor garden I did. We kept the roof open here, so it was like outdoors inside the confines of the castle. You know, it's just like a little royal garden here. Nothing fancy at all. Just thought it was cool. Saved blocks too to leave that roof open. Like I said, building on survival is a whole nother world. What is that? Why is there a door here? What the heck? Never seen this. Is there something in there? Whoa, somebody's got a little stash going on. I've never seen this. Never knew there was a door there. I don't know what they were doing. Ooh, piggy burning. Speaking of which, we're gonna go to the Royal Dining Hall next. Some bacon smells good and it sounds good. So here, this next room, well, I'll take you over here so you can see how we can get around. This is that main tower again. This is the third floor of it. And you come up here, now we're on top of the walls here, the defense walls of the kingdom, and there's just some medieval houses. I'm actually going to do a full-on medieval city flyover just so you can see the scope of it too. That'll be another video. But it's just, you know, we had to keep everything connected so you can walk all the way across here. It's just like a real castle. You got to be able to get everywhere. This next room is still, to this day, my favorite interior design I've done for a room. I love this room right here. This is the Royal Dining Hall. I thought it turned out just amazing. You got all these cakes, just the contrast and the way that it all just came together. It's just really awesome. I really like it a lot. Just the contrast, and so there's plenty of cakes if you needed to come eat. This is where we had our cakes at. And there's the west courtyard, and we'll be heading over there. We got all kinds of things to see there. And if you come over here, here's the kitchen. So you gotta have a big kitchen to feed all these people. Make all those cakes. And I thought this was cool. I put like little windows dividing them so you can see in there, and you can put the cakes on this little ledge so they can see the food before it comes out. Get you all ready and hungry. We got a huge open flame pit here to roast some cake. And that's just another door that leads to the west courtyard. We'll be making our way over there soon. And we're gonna go up. I think I've got... Wait, what's over here? Oh yeah, that's the steps coming up. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go up and around. Or around and up, I should say. And here's another project I never finished. This was going to be the Royal Ballroom. I was going to make this like a dance hall, but I just never came back and finished it. Like I said, we started getting cracking on modern once it started, so just never came back. But I thought you guys, I've just been getting a lot of requests for medieval, so I figure hopefully whoever has been asking for that, this helps you. Maybe get some ideas for your little medieval village or kingdom or whatever you're going to be doing. There's the royal courts. We're gonna make our way up and around. You know, just put little spots to sit and all that. You can go down in here, and it's just, you know, it's nothing fancy. It's just another hallway, some windows looking out. But this is where it gets cool. The walkway continues, and look here. There's the royal dining hall. Now we're on the other side. You can see all the way to the kitchen if you look straight through the other window. You can see the cakes sitting over there. That's one of my favorite things about this castle, is just how everything is like intertwined. There's 100 ways to go. It just feels real life, you know. And here is the king's chamber. And first we're going to get a good look of what he can see every day. So you can come out and look over, make sure everything's going good in the courtyard. There's the library off in the distance. There's the royal battleship. And we're going to go in here. And like I said, this is just the king's chambers, so I'll put up, you know, he's got his own little desk area, and his own little meeting table for his top lieutenants. Nice little fireplace. Excuse me. Epic little bed here. Just little details. I thought this was cool. Put like a little fence here with you know, shrubs on the other side, so it's just kind of like a partition. It wasn't a full wall. It's just a little bit of a privacy wall maybe. And also, because, you know, it was built on survival, in case we were to get raided, I had to have an escape route. So I made a little trick here. If you do it just right, you got to just go off and walk back a little bit, and you'll fall right into the too deep water, and you won't die. You see? But if you didn't know and you just went off the edge trying to follow me, you'd hit the grass and you'd die. So that was the king's escape route. And if you look closely at this building, you can see there's the king's chambers on top. There's the royal dining hall, and directly below, that's the throne room. So I utilized that building completely. It's got 3 epic rooms in it. And they're all just stacked on top of each other. You wouldn't even notice if you know, you didn't know. So now we're in the west courtyard, and we got another little market over here, another little cart carrying some goods. You got your raw material guys again, textiles, plants, cakes and whatnot. And there's the outdoor garden straight ahead of us where we were a minute ago, as you can see. So here's the royal tombs, and Comedian made this. This is just the Comedian 2-3, as you can see. I guess you get blessed before you go down to give your final blessings to the deceased. And there's just like it's kind of scary down here. It's like dark and dingy. Looks like old school tombs, you know. You got the caskets, sarcophagus, I guess they'd be sarcophagus. There you go. And there's some put into the wall. We got an empty one here. There's some more, and I guess this was maybe the previous king died back here, because this is kind of like a bigger, like main little sarcophagus here. Someone was buried here that's important. I just like how it's just dark and dingy. It's not perfect. It's just it's like what it would be like the underground tombs, you know. It's not gonna be a nice pretty place. Oh, but look at the nice flowers. I didn't know flowers grew with just torchlight. That's pretty cool. Did not know that. Thought you had to have glowstone. Alright. So that's the tombs. I guess I should go to bed again. Alrighty. We're going to continue the tour. I'm going to go ahead and hit the Royal Courthouse. As you can see, this here was the Royal Court. Comedian created this one as well. We're going to go in. And this is where the king would hold his court. You got your little holding cages for the sheep stealers, or whatever you did, the vagabond pickpockets. I guess this is the jury. You got double-sided jury. And the accused would wait here. Right on this block right here. Yeah, this is where whoever's on trial would wait. And if you look up, which this is like an awesome little detail here, if you look up at the ceiling, that's the scales of justice. If you know what the scales of justice are, those old school scales, that's what it really looks like. Just a little set of old school scales. And then the king would sit up here, and if he found whoever was guilty, he hits the button, and then that pops open there where they were standing, and they drop down into the dungeon. And we're gonna go check out the dungeon here in a minute. We'll go ahead and check that out now. So if you get sentenced to the dungeon, you'd have to come down here. We'll get to everything. And this is where the dungeon was. These are dingy. I would not want to get sentenced to dungeon in here. No bed, just filth. This filthy cobblestone. But those are the secondary cells. This is the one that you fall into if you're in court. And if you look up, there's the piston, and they fall straight out. Boop, and then you're just trapped in here. Oh, gotta get rid of that so I can get through. Alright. I just thought it was cool. Hey, we needed a dungeon, so it was just simple. I mean, it's not like you have an elaborate dungeon. But here's the armory, which this is where the room I set up whenever we have PvPs in the castle. I've had a couple times where we'd have just like have a battle inside the castle walls, so you could come. Maybe this will give you guys an idea for your armory as well if you're doing PvP and stuff like that. So I had it sectioned up, weapons and tools on this side, and armor over here. So what we did, if we were doing leather armor, you'd come, there's leather pants. So you'd hit a button, bloop, and leather pants come out of the dispenser for you. Look, leather boots, look, bloop. You got leather boots, and there's extras in the chest, so if the dispenser runs out, you could fill it back up. Chain helmets, chain chest plate, we got it all. Diamond, you know, just depending on what we were doing. Sometimes we wanted to keep it fair so everybody get the same thing. Same process over here. It's just compass, you know, whatever you want. Flint and steel, bows. You want a bow? And get you a bow, you know. You want a compass? You got the compass. I just thought this was a really neat idea. It's just keeps it simple, and that way you know what everyone's got. You know, if they come in with nothing, you can watch them hit the button. So it's just a cool idea for a little PvP startup. You know, the Royal Armory. Alright, and we're getting close to the end of the tour here, so those of you guys are still watching, hopefully you're enjoying it. And we got a little bit more. We're going to go... I'm not going to show that. That tower straight in front of me, that's just another barracks like we saw before on the other side. And here's the little jail cart. Comedian threw this up. This is where you bring in the convicted in their little jail cart. I don't even remember what that one is. Let's see. This is... Oh, yeah. Forgot all about this. This is just like a little... I don't even know what it is. It's just a little information area. It's not really a library. It's just a little... There's a little Easter egg down there, too. Not gonna show that. Not gonna show that. I'll save that for anyone that gets lucky enough to come in here and find it. I don't even remember this. Never saw this. Didn't know this was like this. Okay, looks like someone started something in here and never completed. So I don't know what's going on. But we're gonna bounce. Where is my way up? There. Nope. Nope. There it is. Okay. And if we make our way to the final structure, I believe this is the where the what is it, chat, or what is this? St. James Temple of Union and Worship. That's correct. That's what it is. Comedian made this, as you can see. Got a little cross there, and you follow these steps up. What was that? Oh, okay. Thought there was something hanging out of the wall there. It's just a window. We'll make our way up. Wait a minute. Did I miss something? Thought there was a sign down here. Oh, yes. Looking for new altar boys. Come upstairs if interested. This is just a little joke at the expense of the Catholic Church. That's right. You needed to see that. You certainly needed to see that. Because then you come to the top and there's just a bed. And if any of you know about the Catholic Church scandal, you know where we're going with the altar boys. It's just a joke. Just an inside joke. Just a little Easter egg there. So yeah, then you come out here. This is the northwest exit of the castle. This is like a little shady section of the medieval town. We put like Salazar's tent. This guy's a shady little shroom dealer. And you got just a little observation point here, so you can kind of go out and see some more. And there's like the satanic temple over there we made. The medieval kingdom had to have an enemy, so that's like where the dark force was. Cool little hot air balloon. But that's pretty much it for the castle. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to just do a fly around so we can see just how massive this thing really is. And once again, this is no joke, no lie, completely built on survival. You know, I had help. It took us 2.5 months. And it was a good 2.5 months spent because it's still here, it's still epic, it's still one of my favorite things that I've ever built and been part of. It's just super awesome. Yeah, I've seen bigger and better ones, but I haven't seen many built on survival that are better than this. Here's the east courtyard. Like I said, I really just, every time I see it and come back and look at it, I'm just amazed that we did all this on survival. I mean, I just remember all the scaffolding. I mean, and if you guys could try to imagine, just imagine every single one of these things being built with like countless times falling off and dying, you know, having to restart, pick up all your stuff, make another scaffold, get back up to the top is just funny. I mean, I wish I could have counted all the times that I fell off of one of these things and died. And there's the royal boat, the royal battleship. Alrighty. And we're right back to where we started, folks. I do thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for much more. Like I said, I am going to do I'm not going to do a full detail of all the rest of Medieval Town. I'm going to do a couple structures. If you look on the, I think I'm going to start a playlist, so if you look on that, there'll be some things on there. But I am going to do a medieval city flyover, and I've also got a special little thing. After I do all the touring and flying over, I got a special little medieval video coming, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And we'll see you guys next time, and thank you for watching.